Hey friend, it's David. Welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get the best spiritual shape of their lives one workout at a time. Quick thought. In this video that I'm calling You Made the Cut. You made the cut. So my wife Erin and I were at church today, and we had a guest speaker. He's a rabbi, a Messianic rabbi who knows Yeshua as Messiah. It's wonderful, fantastic teaching. It just brought out so much from the Hebraic point of view that, just as a Gentile believer or Christian, I just don't get. In fact, Aaron and I on Saturdays have been turned on to a interesting podcast along those lines called the Bema podcast. We found that on YouVersion under Discover podcast, the Bema, where they're walking through it from a Hebraic point of view. So check that out if you're interested. But the rabbi today was talking about the fact that Jesus' disciples made the cut. And it's so countercultural or counterintuitive that they in fact did, because he was saying, when in his culture, boys would be, going through life and going through what their equivalent to elementary school is, and about, 13 or 14, if they were doing good in their studies of Torah, then they could go on to be interviewed by a rabbi who would intensively interview them. And if they, had what the rabbi thought it takes, he would say, "Come follow me." And he would become a disciple of the rabbi. And if a boy, didn't measure up, he didn't have what it takes, then he would just become a tradesman. He'd become, a potter, or, do mason work, or wood carving, or whatever the trade was of the day, in an agrarian culture. And then we have the disciples. We have, what we're getting introduced to in the Chosen series, if you are tracking along with that, which my wife and I are, and just loving it. And we're in season 5 as I record this. But they made the cut. They got the invitation from the Rabbi Jesus, who is doing miracles and speaking in a transformational way. And he said, "Come follow me." This is the exact same invitation that a rabbi would invite a prospective disciple to come and be his disciple and walk with him and imitate him. And this is what Jesus invited, the disciples, the 12 disciples, "Come follow me." And it was so counterintuitive, countercultural, And so 3 big ideas that I came away from the message today by the rabbi, which were encouraging to me, is number 1, we made the cut. We're on Team Jesus. You and I made the cut. If you're a believer in Jesus, if you're a follower of Christ, you made the cut. You're on the team. You're on Team Jesus. Even though many of us, like myself, are eminently unqualified. I didn't go to Bible college and seminary, and I made so many mistakes, growing up and doing my own thing, and yet God chose me. And he even the rabbi went so far as to say, that we're his favorite. We're absolutely his favorite team member. Well, how can you say that? Well, if you're a father or a mother and you have more than one child, which child is your favorite? Well, most parents would say, "I love them both equally and entirely, completely, absolutely. I don't choose one over the other. I love them both." And in the same way, our Heavenly Father loves us as his favorites. Every one of us is his favorite. So we're on Team Jesus. We made the cut and we're his favorite. The second thing I took away from that is there is no bench on Team Jesus. There's no bench. A lot of times, if you're walk-on at the Crimson Tide or some college team or whatever, just sit the bench, just ride the bench for the whole school year, or whatever. But on Team Jesus, there is no bench. Everyone is called up. We're all on active duty. We're all involved. We're all going to play, and God has given to us, our own unique talents and gifts and abilities, and and he wants us to use them. There's no bench on Team Jesus. And so we're not spectators, we're participants and activated and called, commissioned, anointed, and appointed to do what God has called us to do with spiritual gifts, our core values, and our past experiences and future opportunities that all combine together to help us fulfill God's vision, revelation, and dream for our life, his plan, purpose, and mission and assignment. He has that for us. So no bench. And then the third thing about being on Team Jesus and there is no bench. And the third thing is we're on the winning team. I'm just telling you, we are on the winning team. Wouldn't it make a difference if you absolutely knew that you knew that you knew that no matter what the score is at halftime, we're going to win the game? You know, it's like watching a Super Bowl from years gone by. You know, it kind of takes the the curiosity and the mystery out of who's going to win if you already know the ending score, the final score. And in the same way, we know the final score by reading Revelation 21 and 22. By the time this thing all wraps up, the beast and the false prophet are in the lake of fire, thrown alive there. And the devil soon to join them. And Jesus is on the throne, and you and I are living in a glorified body on a renovated earth, a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had been replaced by a new heaven and a new earth. The new Jerusalem has come down out of heaven like a bride adorned for her groom. That's where we're going to live on earth, where there's no sun, there's no night, there's no pain. Read Revelation 21:22 for yourself. It's just so encouraging and enriching. Bottom line, we win. Everybody, we win. So I hope that encourages you just a little bit. I was encouraged today that we made the cut. We made Team Jesus, no bench, and we win. I hope that encourages you. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you, never against you. Hey, let's have a winning attitude as we go this week and collect some wins. Take care.